Mary, and I'm a daycare provider here in Shelby. And I've been coming to the Shelby Library since 1968, and I've been coming with my daycare kids since 1970. The library was one of the first places we went. First we found a church, and then we found our library. And it's just a really important part of our lives. My husband reads 3 or 4 books a week. I try to read at least 1 book a week, and the kids and I read probably 20 books a week. We like to come for story hour. We've had story hour here since I remember taking both of my children here. My oldest daughter is 40-something, and she remembers Mrs. Deepen and Mrs. Abig saying to her, "I don't think you should take 5 books home. Maybe you should just take 1." And of course that made her want to take the 5 books, and she thought she was getting away with something, and they were getting her to read. So they've been a very important part of our lives for 30 years. My youngest daughter remembers preschool graduation here, and they had little hats, and everybody in their class that came to that, I think ended up in the top, I don't know, maybe quarter of the class. I don't know what the numbers were, but all of those kids that started out reading here at the library did really well and have gone on to be important people, moms, dads, working in the community, and I'm sure they're all readers. And I enjoy bringing the kids. Even now, I have my children here right now. I'd like to read them a story.
Okay, I'm Barb Schuyler. I've lived in Shelby for 80 years, or almost 80, and my parents are from here from 1865, the first people from Shelby, and with the exception of about a year, I've lived here my entire life. I was married in 46 to Lynn Schuyler. We had 2 children, Michael and Jean. Lynn died of a massive heart attack at age 52, and I've been a widow for 27 years. I was secretary bookkeeper for Cheevers Incorporated for 36 years, retired. 3 months later, I started working for Mount Hope Cemetery Association, was their secretary and treasurer for 13 years, but now I'm retired for good. I discovered the Shelby Library above the fire barn downtown Shelby when I was just a kid, and it's covered in a poem that I will write. Library memories. Our library soon has a birthday, 100 years possessed. Our Shelby knows how lucky that we've been wonderfully blessed. My mom started reading me stories when I was just past 2. She continued until I was old enough to read my own books through. A few years I was older, and I walked into town without harm. I then made the fabulous discovery upstairs above the fire barn. I'd glance first at the fire trucks and then start to climb those stairs to a heaven filled with shelves of books, a library answering my prayers. The next few years on Saturdays at 1 o'clock, I'd be there to spend the next 3 hours with what those authors had to share. Today I'm going on 80. Our new library is here to stay. My heaven moved to the first floor, and I continue to read each day.
Okay, I'm Miriam Abig. I live in Shelby. Lived here all my life, and I remember when the library was above the fire barn down on Main Street. You had to go up all these stairs. It was really dark going up there and around the corner and into the library. And the librarian was Mrs. Adams, and I was kind of scared of her. She was a real stickler for being quiet. You had to be quiet. She kept, and children especially, I think, because my friend and I used to go up and take out the Playmate magazine so we could trace the paper dolls. I don't remember taking many books out, but I do remember that. And when we brought them back, she always checked to be sure we didn't take anything out of them. And then I probably didn't go into the library too many years before I moved over here. And then I worked here at the library for about 15 years. I quit in 1990, and it was a great place to work. Elsie Van Sickle hired me, and the library has grown so much since then. And right now we have this history room, which I feel is great, and I'm real happy to be on the committee. And we've been going around interviewing people and getting their stories, and it's just, I just can't say enough about it. I did one of the things I enjoyed doing was story hour, and once a week or whatever, and all 7 of our grandchildren were able to come while I was doing it, and now most of them have grown up and have children of their own, a lot of them. Local history right here of different families. There's cemetery records down there, and over here we have all the old annuals and Michigan Pioneers Historical Society, and then there's a lot of family genealogies that are here, and a lot of scrapbooks and other history of different things. There's about the Koval train wreck and a piece of the iron. The first library was on the east side of Main Street, above the fire barn, right here. You can see the bell up above, and it's right here, right next door to it. Used to be a funeral home before it moved down, and later then when my dad's radio shop burned, we had the radio shop right in there, which was right next door.